Hey Techno Freaks, TeknoOdin here, continuing the character breakdowns for Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. This time, mistakes must be atoned for, with Kain.
My training commences.
An assassin, Kain feels more like a vanguard, using attacks that can lock people in place and playing to a slow and neutral game. However, one of his biggest flaws is he lacks in wide horizontal attacks. They are all narrow thrusts or vertical swipes, which means he's great 1v1, but if he gets ganked, it's game over. I also found it really hard to do much with him online when lag played a part. Unlike other characters I've come across so far, lag really kills Kain's momentum, but more on that later on. Now, to the moves. His neutral ground Vorpal Thrust is a 3-input move inspired by the Dragoon's attack of the same name in Final Fantasy XIV. It has Kain do 2 vertical swings of his spear before thrusting them away for a wall rush. It's an okay attack, but it's rarely used, as it's not really a great opener, but it's fast, so use it if you're on the ground and you think the enemy will get to you before you can use one of your other better attacks. His forward ground Lance Burst is a 2-input move that has Kain charge into the enemy with his spear, doing some damage while he charges, finishing by kicking the opponent into the earth for a wall rush. It's really good at closing the gap and has hyper armor over magic attacks, making it a great move to use on those pesky marksmen. His backwards ground Celestial Shooter is a 2-input anti-air attack similar to the Onion Knight's forward ground, where Kain lunges into the air, catching the opponent before spiking them to the ground. You can use this the same way you use Onion Knight's forward, as either an anti-air move or an advancing jump. His neutral air Impulse Drive is just the air version of Vorpal Thrust, another 3-input attack inspired by an attack of the same name from Final Fantasy XIV. The only difference is instead of 2 vertical swings and a thrust, this is 1 vertical swing and 2 thrusts. This move is more useful than its ground counterpart, as Kain finds himself more aerial suited. Use this as a strong combo linker or ender. His forward air, Puncture, is just Lance Burst but in the air, with a kick downwards instead of upwards. Otherwise, it has the exact same perks, use it how you would Lance Burst. His back air, Spiral Blow, is a 2-input dive bomb attack that has Kain spiral down towards the opponent, then sending them flying upwards for a wall rush. This move is great for getting the drop on people. Use it on people who are out of Puncture's vertical tracking range. His ground dash attack is Tornado, where Kain summons a small tornado that tracks the opponent. It's quick and can be charged to make a bigger tornado. This hits multiple times, mainly use this for pokes. His air dash attack is Cyclone, where Kain shoots a small orb of wind to the opponent. It's pretty much the same as Tornado until we get to the charged version. This hits a lot of times and sends the opponent vertically up. What's more is that you can combo off it if you have the right amount of range, meaning you can hit this attack, dash in, and then go for either an Impulse Drive or a Puncture. Even better, you can land a wall rush, dash away and hit a charged Cyclone, then dash and use Impulse Drive to get the high damaging combo. The charged Cyclone is also your go-to Crystal Smasher. Now before we go to HP attacks, this is where I have to talk about Kain's lag issue. You see, these combos of Kain do require some timing and will take some practice to do consistently. But no amount of practice can help you if you have stop-start frame rate or input delay, and lag is a big problem. Like I said, lag kills Kain. So many times I've dropped this somewhat simple setup because inputs were not read, or I'd misjudged the timing of an attack due to not knowing if I'm actually there or not. I won't turn this into a video on the issues of lag, but if you guys want to hear my opinion on the subject, let me know. For HP attacks, we start with Gungnir, Kain's OG HP attack, where he throws his spear at the opponent. Charging increases the range you can throw, but this move is very narrow. His second HP attack is Fang and Claw, another move taken from Final Fantasy XIV. This has Kain slash wildly 5 times before finishing with a hard, piercing thrust.
Oh my!
This is his main combo ender if you're running the HB attack, because the BP damage before the HP damage is pretty strong, though it does leave you wide open. His third HP attack is Vanquish, an odd attack that will have you either lunge high into the air or dive to the floor, surrounding yourself in a huge aura, hitting the opponent depending on if they are above or below you. One neat trick with this move is if the opponents are just above you and you're in a safe distance away, you can use Vanquish as a huge leap into the air to give you that much needed vantage point. His fourth HP attack is Avenger. No! Bad editor. Bad. This attack is pretty much Warrior of Light's Bitter End in assassin form. It blocks attacks before landing a piercing thrust, dealing HPA damage. However, unlike Bitter End, you cannot hold the attack down to extend the block. As for which is the better HP attack, it's a toss-up between Avenger and Fang and Claw. Both can wall rush, and where Fang and Claw is great for pace and damage, Avenger can be used to condition the enemy to be more cautious when going against you. As for Vanquish and Gungnir, Vanquish has its uses. It hits multiple targets, even those you didn't know were there, and effectively it's his only big AoE attack he has, but if you miss, you are left wide open. Gungnir is possibly the worst out of his HP attacks, being too narrow, and its only really good point is for mind games with the charge, which is something that gets less effective as time goes on. His unique EX skill is none other than Jump, the Dragoon's signature move. The move can go up to 3 levels and starts on a 10-second cooldown for level 1, then goes to a 30-second cooldown for level 2, then onto a hefty 75-second cooldown for level 3. So basically it's a 40-second cooldown to use level 2 jump from the beginning, and a 115-second cooldown to use level 3.
Joe! The numbers don't lie! And they spell disaster for you as sacrifice!
The level 1 has Kain jump high into the air, effectively making it a pseudo dodge, then proceeding to do a dunk attack for BP damage similar to Firian's plunge. The move is okay, but you are not invincible, so you can end up landing onto a HP attack if timed wrong. His level 2 has Kain jump so high he effectively leaves the match for a few seconds, making so no one is able to lock onto you until you land back down. This is shown by a light that looks like you've broken through the heavens. Then we get the plunge attack as before. On hit, this will grant you Dragoon's Pride, a buff that will increase the number of normal jumps you have, making it 4 instead of the assassin's default 3. His level 3 is a lot like level 2, just with more range, a bigger area of effect, and the fact that it's now a HP attack and grants Dragoon's Pride regardless of if you hit the opponent or not. Knowing when to use which level and when is all situational, so use it when you feel it's needed. Also, a good point to add is apart from when the EX skill icon changes colour when you reach a new level, Kain himself will be shrouded in a blue aura when you reach level 2, and when you reach level 3 that aura becomes almost neon green and gives off a Super Saiyan 2 like electricity. For general skills there's a few combinations to go with, but a lot of them run off Enfeeble. As we know, this move empties the dash gauge for a set amount of time, allowing you to either catch up to your opponent trying to get away, or put the brakes on someone trying to catch up to you. A good alternative to Enfeeble is Provoke. This move works really well for Kain. Unlike the Provoke port setup you run with characters like Garland or Warrior of Light, Provoke with Kain is a disorientation tool. You see, with Provoke you force an enemy to lock onto you for a set amount of time, making them easy prey for a teammate, but Kain doesn't do ganking, so he doesn't want the enemy joining up with the person who is already locked onto you. This is where jump 2 or 3 will come into play. You use Provoke on an enemy targeting a teammate. Then you will use jump 2 or 3 either on that enemy or on someone else. The jump will remove you from play, thus removing their lock on, but will force them to lock onto another teammate. And this actually gets really disorientating as it's 2 rapid switches in a quick amount of time. This gives your teammate a good opening for either a BP attack or a HP attack. As for team comp, Kain works really well with Firion, as Kain covers the air combat that Firion lacks. Throw in a trapper like Emperor or a good starting marksman and you are golden. As for summons, Bahamut is a strong one for Kain, as jump is one of his biggest moves. It's something he really needs, and being offensive based as you are, you will cut that 40 seconds down relatively quick, meaning faster jump 2s and jump 3s.
You shall never best us.
Okay guys, that's it for today's breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell thingy and share this video. Also, if you have any tips and tricks you found yourself, please share them in the comment section below. And finally, tune in next time where we revisit a past breakdown of mine as we re-look into Golbez. But until that day, this has been TeknoOdin. Take care!